Alrighty, everybody, it's time for the Izumo, which for some reason has been the most requested video that I've had so far. Like the anticipation for this, for whatever reason, has been higher than pretty much everything else. But yeah, anyways, welcome back. It's business and doing the overview on the Tier 9 Japanese battleship, the Izumo, which has got the funkiest damn look to it, probably out of any ship in the game, really. Now, taking a look at the options here with the upgrades and whatnot, like pretty much every other battleship has the 3 hulls, it has the FCS upgrade, it has the engine upgrade. Unfortunately, the engine upgrade is really minimal. I think it does help more in acceleration than it does in top speed. It does start off with 76,500 hit points. It barely goes up at all. They do some weird stuff with the hit points in this game, like with the hull upgrades. But just taking a look at the concealment range there, look at that. There's pretty much nothing that this thing can do to hide. That's kind of a bad thing. If you look at the Montana, which, yes, I have the Montana. No, I'm not going to do a video on it anytime soon. And I'll explain that in another video coming up. The concealment range is so bad on this. I mean, you just cannot hide this type of ugly at all. And that kind of leads to a lot of issues with the ship, unfortunately, where, I mean, you're going to get spotted by everything right at the map, right as the map starts. So you just have to be aware right at the beginning of what you're going to do and how to protect yourself. The stock AA is pretty damn bad, and that's even with the 1 point and 4 point captain skills. Of course, this goes up quite a bit once you actually get the first hull, and minimal hit point upgrade there too. You see the shell type changes, and you have a little bit more AP damage. And taking a look at the differences here, so these cannons, if I remember correctly, they're the same shells that actually the fully upgraded Amagi has, but obviously with a different arrangement. So the AA definitely gets a boost here with the second hull. As usual, the third hull will be the rudder shift improvement. I actually never bought the FCS upgrade. I don't think I even researched it before getting the Yamato, but it does have a healthy complement of secondary guns. Not maybe as much as, say, the Nagato, but holy crap, do they reach out far. And taking a look again, you get some more upgrades on the third hull with the AA defense, and now she's actually looking like she can defend herself. I mean, look at all the little gun positions here towards the front. And that's something to bear in mind too. You're going to lose pretty much all of those within the first few hits of the HE shells on your deck. So just bear that in mind, that you will rapidly lose your ability to defend yourself against air attack as a fight goes on, because pretty much all of your fire that will be coming in is going to be located right at the turrets. People really do focus on getting these turrets knocked out, and I know I do when I face an Izumo. And as usual, main battery mod 1, can't run the battleship without it. I go with the accuracy upgrade, and I don't know, I guess you could go with the secondary battery, but honestly, I'm all about making sure that I never have to use my secondaries. Try to, of course, inflict as much damage as I can before getting to that point. They are good, but to waste a module on that, I don't know. Your AA module there, the AA mod 2, or the fire control system mod 1 would be the much better option, in my opinion. I never actually did get the third slot upgraded either, since that was 3 million, and as you can see, I was kind of strapped for cash. But in this respect, I don't know what the hell the AA mount effectiveness actually means, if it means they're 20% more effective at actually shooting down the planes. If so, that's great. But it could mean anything, because this is wargaming that we're talking about, and I don't know, they tend to have cryptic descriptions. The secondary battery mod would probably be a good choice here. It's really 50-50 between the top two, the secondary or the AA. But I don't have any hard facts that actually show what the 20% AA effectiveness actually does. So, like, if it means you shoot down 3 more planes, then hell yeah, go with it. Steering gear modification 2, and as usual, I still don't get the 6th slot. There's not a single ship I have purchased one with at all. So now that I have some tier 10s, I'll probably look into that, but that's hardly my concern at the moment. The basic firing training and the advanced firing training, that goes directly to boosting the secondaries effectiveness as well as your AA. Huge factor there. The turret traverse there, you definitely want that 2-point skill, because that's another big point of this ship, is getting that turret traverse down as fast as possible. Now, there are areas that this ship really excels at, and it's being the tip of the spear, being the vanguard, being the ship that is leading the charge. And these cannons do a great job on all sorts of targets, so long as they have that nice clumping together. So, see a Cleveland there get knocked out. You know, granted, it wasn't on full health, but it probably wouldn't have made a difference. Now, there's an Otago over here, just moseying on over. Get a proper lead and send in full salvo over there. And granted, he's not on that much health, so no surprise there, right? But, you know, Citadel's a Citadel. I'm happy with that. Well, let's take a look at some battleships and how this fares in the long-range game, because it actually is, I think, pretty damn capable as a long-range and sub-10 kilometer or 12 kilometer battleship. So this is about, what, 17, 18k? Ouch. That was pretty much right at the start of the match, too. So here's another Amagi. And checking the surroundings. No major threats. And again, good solid damage. Now, you may have remembered me saying something about how this ship does against the Tirpitz. I think this is the best ship against the Tirpitz. And this is part of the reason why. 8 out of 9 shells hit, and 29,400 damage. Here's another example. Poor Tirpitz. Just boom, 30,000 damage. 8 shells out of 9 hit. So how does it do against an Iowa, perhaps? Well, first off, you shouldn't be showing your side like this, because damn, that's a lot of damage. And here's my friend Kami Samurai, also showing what it can do. See that 62,000 health? He's in his Izumo over there, and bye-bye. You cannot mess around with the ship. Even Yamatos, you know, they you get into certain situations with the ship, and it's really, really good. And this is the particular scenario that I'm talking about, that if even against a ship like the Yamato, which you'll watch here, these shells just absolutely tear the ship apart through the front, and that's a big part of the imbalance that comes with the Yamato. It's just one of those things. I don't know if they're ever gonna bother with balancing this ship, but honestly, that's pretty stupid. So he showed me his underbelly there, and got a Citadel. And see these these secondaries desperately tried to fight, and I know this next salvo I'm definitely gonna get wiped out by him. Ooh, so close. Just enough of an angle to not kill me outright. However, damn. 5 Citadels, 64,500 damage. Holy shit. That was awesome. That was just like my second match in that tier or something. And now, in this scenario, look, I'll be honest with you. I got my ass kicked a lot in this ship. I was doing really well for a while, and you know, a 75% win rating, almost 100,000 damage average a match. This is after 25, 35 matches in that range. I ended up with what, like 55, 57 matches, something like that, and I felt pretty hard. The last couple weeks have been just terrible, but for me, so long as if I lose, I'm okay with it. So long as I put up a fight and really made it hard for my opponents to win. And damn, that is just a good salvo. Like, that's the type of thing where, like, okay, now I'm going to turn back, because that salvo literally just changed this whole dynamic right here. And then the destroyer comes in and changes it right back to their favor, unfortunately. The thing about the Izumo, in my opinion, is yes, it's meant to lead the charge, because you're not going to run like you would in an Amagi with the 3 turrets in the rear, 2 in the front, and be able to really sink a lot of damage into your opponents. You have to expose your ship in such a way that it really defeats the purpose of running away. You might as well just turn around, or like not have turned around in the first place, and fight them head on. You know, the side of the ship is very large and very flat, so you have to really stay at that bow on position, and it just makes it difficult because you have that awkward third turret there, and in order to get that around, you really have to expose more of your ship. So when it comes down to it with the Izumo, as you're leading, you really ought to have some support. And you know, it unfortunately, like in this case, you see the northern group here, they just couldn't get across the map fast enough before things got really hectic here. And you know, the Sabuki is just taking a hell of a lot of damage, and he's knocked out. I'm just about to get in a really, really bad position. And you see that destroyer that popped up a second ago? Well, now yeah, oh boy. I've got to turn my broadside to the Amagi, who just fired a full broadside, or eat all the torps. So that's an easy decision. I can avoid the torps, so take the damage, but managed to knock out the Amagi, so that's good. I have 1 minute and 15 seconds left on my healing cooldown. I'm in a really bad spot. I'm just desperately clinging on here to, you know, some sort of combat ability, as the southern group now is starting to get much closer, and they've been within firing range for a few minutes, but there's nothing I could do about it because I was having to focus on the other ships. There is a Tirpitz right here next to me too, and there's a few enemy Tirpitz coming in after me, and my teammate here, unfortunately. Now I get the torpedo indicator, and oh shit. It's like, you take the blue line, dude, and I'll break off. But lost a lot more health there again. Used my repair to try to get rid of some of the fires and whatnot. This is just so bad. But I'm telling you, I'm not going down without a damn fight. And start aiming for that Tirpitz over there when, let's see, get the first 2 turrets, right? Well, things get a little bit worse for me, if that was possible. I have almost no health, and shit, there's a destroyer. Ah, boy. Well, I got the heal back, so that's good, right? Now I've got to expose my side to multiple ships off to my port side, while I am positioned to dodge those torpedoes and try to get this damn destroyer who just screwed up my whole plan. And boom, there we go. And now I gotta deal with the frickin' aircraft carrier dropping his torps near me. So this is just great. But like, talk about piling it on. I just could not catch a break. This is one of those stretches of games where I couldn't get anything going. But this Tirpitz, he feels the pain. So get some damn good damage in there for just a full salvo. He was turning slightly, so his port side lifted up out of the water just enough for me to sink that citadel in. And for those of you who have watched the first Mogami video that I posted up with all the weird, crazy torpedoes and suicide runs and stuff, I'm no stranger to the sacrifice play. In fact, I think it's actually my ace card, my trump card, if you will, as far as if there's something I can do to give us a really good chance at winning, I will throw my ship into the mix and I'll try to make something happen. Hopefully somebody will follow my lead. And in this instance, I threw my 70+ thousand health Izumo into the cap because they had so many damn ships in there. There was a Gearing, there was a Fletcher, there's a North Carolina, there's a New Orleans, there's Tirpitz off to the side, there's a Mogami just to the north. I mean, holy crap, this is bad. So I figure I'm dead, I'm screwed, and what better way to go out than to take 63,000 damage off of a, actually I think it was in Iowa or North Carolina, either way. Yes, I did it. Kami came in behind me after that and took out 2 of the destroyers, and we did end up losing that match, unfortunately. And this fight, I pushed over to the west side there at D, curled all the way back and around this damn rock, and like I took a hell of a lot of hits, 84 hits actually, 47 AP, 37 HE, and I was still moving around like crazy, and well, up until this point obviously, and not really moving much at all, but got the Izumo to focus on Kami over there and in his Izumo, and because of that I had an opening at the enemy Izumo side here, and 30,000 damage later he's reconsidering his life choices. Now again, I think that the Izumo can do well in I would say around the 18 kilometer bracket in terms of its accuracy, and under 10 kilometers. I think it just has a hard time with dispersion in between that. There's just something that happens to the dispersion that it just doesn't really work, and I can't really explain it, but if you play it, you'll understand probably really soon what I mean. But it's really a good ship. I had no idea that this thing would be as damn dangerous as it is, but the fact of the matter is that that's its biggest strength, is how people underestimate it, and I'm all for that. If that's the ship that I'm using, people want to underestimate me, by all means, go ahead, it's at your peril anyways. And it's the same thing as the Colorado. There's a stigma attached to certain ships, and people downplay it and the threat from that ship, and you really shouldn't do that. This has 9 16-inch cannons, and they can really beat the hell out of anything that is in front of them, so long as it's pretty much not a Yamato that's angled in any way, shape, or form, who's not more than 4 kilometers away. So, it just comes down to the situation and, the scenario that the ship is in, because this is a very heavily situation-dependent type of ship, and I think it does really good in the lead role. So long as it has some support, you can really go in and hammer the hell out of your enemies, and those secondaries just spray shots all over the place. I mean, you'll set 4 targets on fire in like a couple of minutes, and that's a considerable amount of damage, which right there you saw a secondary kill. So honestly, this ship, don't get me wrong, it's not great, but it's really not as big a freaking turd as people think. And playing it for the first time, because I never bothered with it in CBT, I have a newfound respect for it. I don't think it's great, of course. I just think it's respectable. Well, I hope this video shed some light on the fact that the Izumo is not the turd everybody tries to make it out to be, but regardless, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you here next time, guys. Take care. And the biggest, baddest of them all, coming soon.